welcome everyone. We're very happy to see you. I have amazing Emily with me today. Emily is not a first-time speaker in the community. We already had few posts such as carousel about the differences between Web3 market in US and Europe, and we had a 5 questions with Emily, and today we are finally meeting her in full presence, if I can say it like that. So yeah, Emily, maybe you can share a few more things about yourself, and we will kick off with our questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. My name's Emily. I'm the crypto recruiter. We are one of the original top 5 crypto recruiting firms. We're based in North America. That's where most of our network is. But we also have an APAC entity servicing the APAC region. We've made, we're coming up on like 400 placements over the last 5 years. It's been a lot of fun. What I love about working in crypto is the people. I think the technology is incredible, but you can read a bunch of books, you know what I mean, to learn about blockchain. But what I'm really lucky to say is I get to learn about blockchain through people. I get to learn about the ins and outs of these projects. I get to learn their quirks. I get to learn things that aren't going so well. And things that are winning. So that's a little bit about what I do, and I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. So, guys, the plan here is that we are going to ask Emily, I think, around 7 to 8 questions. At the end of the meeting, we will have an opportunity to ask questions like from the audience. So, if you feel like you want to ask something, share your question in the comment section. And yeah, we are starting with a short blitz round to kind of warm up. So fast question, fast answer, and we will move forward to more deep questions. So Emily, first question of 5, actually. First thing you as a recruiter or your team notices in candidates' LinkedIn profile when you see it for the first time?
Great question. So, well, I think when you send a connection request on LinkedIn, all you see is their picture, their name, and their tagline and mutual connections.
Yeah.
Right. So the first thing that sticks out to me is mutual connections, right? The biggest network overlap that I've had was 1,700 connections, mutual connections, right?
Wow.
If I have only one mutual connection, that tells me that you're not very plugged into the network, because this is not me being like, oh my gosh, but like I have the largest network in the US, right? So if there's not a ton of connections, I'm paying attention to that. After the headline, it really comes down to like positions, right? Where you've worked, the description there, and the times. Companies are really passionate about hiring people that have been in a position for X amount of time. Sometimes they're hesitant about hiring people that have gone 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 3 months. So definitely looking at longevity. But yeah, I mean, headline is important. It's catchy, but the meat and potatoes is in like the about section and the job titles. That's really what I'm paying attention to.
Yes, fully agree, especially for connections. Okay, second question. The most underrated skill in Web3. Of course, there's lots of them, but like the most one or kind of top 3.
Yeah, so I think the first one is emotional intelligence. Companies have really struggled with cultural challenges, so they're looking for people that are autonomous, self-starters, people that come in with no drama, no egos. I've got so many client calls where they're like, no egos, no egos. So previously I would have said like Rust or Solidity or Go, but right now it's really about like culture, and making within a culture. And one of the things that I want to say is like, if you go into a company and you don't feel the vibes, or like it's not the right place for you, don't feel upset about that. The right place is going to come, and culture fit is the biggest reason for turnovers. So you want to make sure that you're in line with the company, you like the people, you want to work there, and that opportunity is going to be much better than what may have been super exciting but wasn't a culture fit.
Okay, yes, agree. And I noticed from the team that my mic is kind of loud. Is it loud or is it okay for you? No?
It's fine
Okay.
for me. I'm on a laptop though.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I just want everyone to feel super comfortable. Okay, third question. Salary in tokens. Is it a risk or not? And how does it go in US in general?
Yeah, so a full salary in a native token that isn't live is definitely a risk, right? Because you never know what's going to happen. That company could crash, that company could go to the moon. My thought and what my candidates are looking for is a stable base salary, either in fiat or a stable coin, or sometimes Bitcoin or ETH. But for the most part, they're taking token packages. So like, 500 to 1 million tokens extra on top of their salary, because who knows what's going to happen to those tokens? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more of like an end of year bonus with the vesting period.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Fourth question number 4. The biggest mistake newcomers make when looking for a crypto job.
Just applying willy-nilly. Just applying to everything, I think, is the biggest mistake. So you need to know is when you apply to a job on LinkedIn, it tracks the jobs that you've applied to at each company. So I've had people apply to like 15 jobs at my company over like the period of years. And this gets down to like impression, right? So now I see 15 applications over 3 years. The question is, well, why are they still applying to jobs and it's been 3 years later, right? And I don't have 15 of the same jobs. They're applying for a variety of them. So as an example, I had a CTO position. I had an executive assistant apply to that. And it just sends the wrong signal. So, if you're not fully qualified for the job, I think it's still to apply, because you never know what's going to cross that person's desk, right? So once you apply to the job at the Crypto Recruiters, I have your contact information, I have your resume. If something else comes up, I can now call you instead of sending you a LinkedIn DM. But additionally, if I'm hiring, let's say, a senior product manager and you're a junior product manager, but you apply, maybe there's a junior role I'm not advertising, right? But definitely, if you're a product manager, I wouldn't be applying to protocol developer opportunities.
Yes.
Well, just unless you're doing that on the side, but I just apply to the relevant jobs. Don't spray your application everywhere. And I think the mistake is just sending the application and that's it. You've got to take a step further, right? Anybody can press the easy apply. It takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds, right? Not everybody is going to reach out to the hiring manager, send a thoughtful message. And I'm not talking about the, hey, I'm interested in this job. Do you have time to chat? Right? Nobody's going to reply to that message. There's too many people sending that specific message. So you want to make it personal. You want to do research on the person, look at blog articles, look at news, look at anything you can find, and try to mention that in your note when you reach out to them, right? You want to put the stuff about them up front in the note, and then the stuff about you at the bottom, but you've got to keep it short and concise, no more than 3 sentences per paragraph. And that, get it to like 2 sentences a paragraph and like 3 paragraphs, and that's it.
Well, yeah, and guys, don't think that this is not a common thing. Like even, sorry, not even, but like in Russia, we have a jobs board that is kind of the biggest, and when people are applying, we can, as a recruiters, we can see all of the applications through all the years you saw. So it is a common thing in lots of companies. I don't know, 95%. So we always see what you do, and if you do that in kind of chaotic, not kind of way, then that is a very big red flag. Okay, the fifth question and the last one of the blitz. So, best platform for finding Web3 jobs besides LinkedIn?
Aside from working crypto?
Yeah.
Okay, besides LinkedIn, I would say that's a tough one. I think one of my favorites is DGen Crypto Jobs. They also have a Telegram profile and they've got like a ton of job postings going on. They also have a resume auditing tool, so it'll help you audit your resume and like position you better for the job. So I like DGen Crypto Jobs a lot. But next to that, I would say Well Found, which used to be Angels List, but like my favorite, because if they're posting a job on LinkedIn, they're making an active investment into the hiring process, right? Where they're not posting jobs, they're making an active, expensive investment into the hiring process. Other than that, you can always check a company's website if they're hiring, but some people don't update the website. I know we struggle with. So, if you see an ad, that is more likely to be an active position.
Yes, fully agree. And I agree with all of the points you said on each question. So, yeah, guys, listen up. We have lots of things to discuss today. And I think we warmed up very well. And yeah, let's move forward to our first of 8 questions. So Web3 is a very fast-paced industry, and some things that felt like a future or felt like something super popular in 2025, in 2024, sorry, now in the middle of the 2025, it's already kind of outdated. And me, myself, and I'm sure you have already had things that surprised you through this. It's already the middle of the year. So what can you share with us? Maybe some things that are like emerging, some emerging trends that you feel will kind of explode soon, and everyone will notice it when it's already be late.
Yeah, that's a great question. Emerging trends. I mean, AI companies have been popping up left and right? Different AI tools, different AI projects. And it's really interesting. I'm seeing a lot of rebrands. So crypto companies, blockchain companies rebranding to AI companies still. I know this was happening a while ago, but it's still happening. I think DPIN is doing really well. I think we're going to see big things in DPIN. But other than, DPIN and AI, you know what I think is interesting? PoliFi, political finance. So like the Trump coin. I think that's really interesting. And while I've been in Vegas, I wear the Crypto Recruiters merch and hoodie everywhere, and everybody's like, tell me about Bitcoin. Tell me about Bitcoin. And guys, I talk about Bitcoin literally all day long. Like, I would love to just take a taxi and not talk about Bitcoin. I'm so sorry. But it's definitely, it's catching on, right? It's catching on, which I think is really exciting. More and more people are interested. More and more people are learning. And what I was getting at is that in Vegas, I've had like 3 people ask me if they should invest in Trump. They know nothing about crypto, but they want to get started. So I think the PoliFi is interesting.
Got it. Okay. And in terms of the kind of hiring process, are there any new trends that you already noticed? Like maybe hiring managers are starting to act differently, or candidates acting differently, like something from this side?
Well, one thing that I really love is these take-home assessments that people are getting after the interview. More and more companies are willing to pay for those. So they're paying $150 an hour for candidates' times. So that's something that's new, right? We've all done the assessments. We've all done the 7 rounds of interviews. That's standard. That's still happening. But I love that candidates are being compensated for their time, right? Companies aren't asking them to do free work. They're making sure that people are compensated and feel valued, and that they're not going to steal their ideas.
You will not believe me. I have a like craziest idea. So for now, if there will be like a list of companies somewhere on the internet with companies that pay for test assignments, someone will start kind of freelancing and earning on the test assignments. They will just start going through interviews and earning on test assignments. I'm pretty sure somewhere in the world. Yeah. Wow. Well, I hope not like any company will kind of go into this trap, but yeah, I think it is possible in this world. Everything is possible. Okay, perfect. So next question, it's kind of get to know you more. So if we're talking about your day-to-day routine, so are you still hiring as a recruiter, or your like kind of scope of what you do is mostly leading the team, maybe events and stuff like that?
So I do it all. I'm very tired all the time. Just want to take a nap all the time. So I lead a team. I lead our team of recruiters, business development, and marketers. And I also do the recruiting and the business development. I'm 360. I'm all in. My day starts at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern, because I got to catch all the people while they're on their way to work or before they even get their day going, right? So the first part of my day is business development. I spend about 2 hours on business development in the morning, and then I move into recruiting. I have anywhere between 6 to 12 interviews a day, minimally, which I think is a lot of fun. It's always great to have an opportunity to meet someone new. It's like my favorite part about the job is like I get to meet all these people.
Yeah.
But I spend about 4 to 5 hours on recruiting, go back to business development, and all throughout the time just working with the team. But I spend most of my time on LinkedIn. Although some people may be shocked at that because I'm so slow to responding to messages. But I do spend most of my time on LinkedIn. Regarding the being slow to messages, it's not something I'm proud of. But it's like literally impossible to get back to everybody. Like is my inbox is I'm so honored to be like the go-to crypto. You know what I mean? Like it's such like I love that people have chosen to reach out to me. I'm doing my best. So if I haven't gotten back to your DM, just DM me again. So it's the top of my inbox. But I am in Vegas for the week, so I probably will not respond.
No, actually, I saw how active you are on LinkedIn and all these videos and your working space. It's just, you're like a Terminator. I don't know. I just, I love it so much and all the videos. So it's super cool. And if we're talking about your, so you are a 360 superwoman. And, if we're talking kind of facts, so, what are the kind of hottest demand roles right now? So our clients are looking for, I don't know, tech employees or non-tech, and what are the roles that are particularly tough to fill at the moment?
So it's developers, marketers, and sales. I mean, there's so many developers out there. I find it interesting where recruiters are like, we can't find any developers. And it's like, are you on Twitter? Are you on LinkedIn? Like they're there. So developers aren't necessarily our hardest hire. I would say sales is one of the hardest hires to make out there. With the crypto recruiters, we have a guarantee on our placements, and a salesperson's job is to sell themselves, right? So it can be very difficult to screen salespeople. Honestly, that's probably where I have the toughest time is like calling BS. You know what I mean? It's just salespeople. So that would and there's not that many salespeople that have been in a role for, X amount of years, right? They seem to be bouncing around, and that just sends a not so great signal. So I would say, if you're looking for a sales role, treat the job hunting process like a sales process, right? Show them what it's like to work with you, follow up, send witty messages, right? Give them a taste of what it's going to be like when they hire you.
Yeah, I also I worked with the Web 3 company which provided a wallet and stuff like that, and I worked with a Web 2 company that provided services for Web 3. Both always are struggling with finding sales managers. And actually talking about that, so sales managers, is it for you, is it the same like Web 3 clients and Web 2 for Web 3 clients? They both struggling on your side, or something is different there?
No, they're both struggling. I mean, I'm working with a company. I just picked them up. They've been hiring a sales director for 8 months. 8 months this job has been open. I'm like, how is your sales team like even flourishing right now? So we're gonna pick up that search. But I mean, it's tough. It's really tough to train salespeople.
Wow. So you're picking up the search while they're already been searching for 9 months.
Absolutely. I want my clients to win, right? So if you can find the person, great. If I can find the person, which I know I can, great. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that with you, you will find someone within a month, make an offer, and they will just close this position. Okay, perfect. So, we talked about the roles that Web3 market is hiring for right now. What about the skills? So we kind of touched this area already, but let's just give our audience more details. So, are there some specific skills that maybe candidates are still trying to kind of show off in their CVs, but they are already cringe in 2025? And is there something kind of hidden that hiring managers are looking for? And how can candidates highlight these things?
Yeah, great questions. So something that hiring managers are looking for on a resume is results, right? What value did you bring to the business? So not just, I posted on Twitter, I made campaigns, I led a product team, right? You want to get into the nitty gritty. You want to put in numbers, metrics, just results, right?
Mm-hmm.
When someone's hiring someone, they're not just hiring a person to add to the team so you can all sing kumbaya in a circle. That's not why people hire people. That's not why companies hire people. They hire people so the company will continue to grow and prosper, right? AKA make more money. So you to show how is hiring you going to result in more revenue to the client, whether that's, organizational, right? Where you're getting everybody on the same page and they work, smarter, right? Whether that's marketing, where you're bringing in leads, sales, where you're actually bringing in direct revenue, right? So you want to position a way that's like, hey, here's the value that I bring. And I think something that's cringy on a resume is using the word strategic. I think strategic sends the message that you just want to point fingers and tell people what to do, right?
Yeah.
And instead of being hands-on in the nitty-gritty. So I would really encourage you to have those words hands-on, team player, right? Player coach on your resume. But it's more about like the hard skills and less about the soft skills. You show your soft skills in the reach out, right? When you're reaching out, that's how you show your soft skills. Your resume, in my opinion, should be all hard skills because like we're all good communicators. You know what I mean? Like we all know how to use Microsoft Word. Just goes off your resume.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, the funniest thing today I saw, so there's like one product manager, he has his kind of community, and he posted a picture with kind of analysis where they say like what product managers are interested in, and the 58% were about some creativity, and the 10% chose working with unit economy. So basically only 10% of product managers are interested in product actually succeeding and making money. So that is about like what you're saying. If there are no results and only creativity, strategic thinking, well, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Next question. I have a question about AI. We already talked about it today. So I want to hear maybe kind of general vision, maybe for both sides or for just a side of the candidates, how the world is changing. And what do you think about AI in general?
Yeah, so I really like AI. I especially like AI in the job hunt, right? You can identify companies that are hiring with AI. You can score. We're actually working on a tool that will score a company and tell you the likelihood of one, them hiring for your position, and two, them being a good company to work with. I think AI is invaluable, but at the same time, I think it's damaging, right? So when you feed your resume into an AI, maybe it's not picking up on the specific keywords that it should be, right? Maybe it's not formatting your resume correctly. Sometimes these AI processes, you upload your resume and then you have to video record 15 different questions. So, I've had a lot of people approach me and be like, Emily, are you worried about recruiting going away? Like, what are you going to do next? And I'm not worried about recruiting going away because of the human touch. You know what I mean? No one's going to replace coaching you through the interview process, walking you through the entire, not interview process, walking you through the entire hiring process, right? Holding your hand. It's just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I agree. So there's like a lot of focus on soft skills right now. Like everyone is looking for soft skills. Of course, they need a base of like matching hard skills and stuff like that. But AI cannot cannot check the soft skills. It can help you to communicate kind of gently, but if you are on interview and you cannot say a word or you cannot talk polite or I don't know, to express yourself and tell about your experience, AI will not help you. So yeah, I agree. In some ways it is damaging. In some ways, candidates can use it, but if they are not using it smart, then they will just lose the opportunity. Okay. So, question number 5. I think, the most wanted question. So, offers and money. Let's talk about that. So, when it comes to companies, so are they are they growing or are they cutting like the budgets and the positions? And, what about the offers? Is the situation with it slower, or maybe there are lots or not a lot of positions that canceled? And what about the salary? Is it going? The market is going up or down? Like, people want to know everything, and we know that your time is limited, so you can share with us everything that you feel is the most relevant info for now.
Well, I hate to deliver this news. I really hate to deliver this news. So companies are definitely doing layoffs. I just had a couple friends get laid off literally yesterday. Companies are cutting salaries. So I would say there's been about a 20% cut. You know, they're really overcompensating with tokens, right? But again, tokens, they could go somewhere, they could not. I think salaries are definitely dipped. I think layoffs have been happening. Companies just aren't getting the funding that they need, right? And I also think those are just burning through what runway, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. If you hire a CMO at $700,000, what are you paying the marketing manager? What are you paying the marketing coordinator? What are you paying the the product manager, right? And it might just not be sustainable to the business. A couple of that, I've seen that happen a couple of times where like the human capital is just too much for the runway. So, aside from that, I'm also seeing, like we talked about earlier, rebrands.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Right now, the market isn't amazing. Positions are getting canceled. We've had a couple get canceled on us and a couple really urgent ones pop up. But it's definitely been a challenge. Now it's always easier to find a job when you have a job. So if you are looking for a new role, do not quit your current job just because, things are not going well, because it might take a while for you to find your next position. So always have something lined up before you leave.
And are we talking here only about like the core of Web3, the companies that are kind of like trading platforms, wallets, tokens, and stuff like that, or the companies that are working for like Web2 for Web3, or do they struggle with the same problem?
Yeah, I don't work with any Web2 companies right now. So I'm just working with Web3 companies, but we're actually launching a new brand. So we're launching the Tech Recruiters, and we're going to help Web2 companies bridge into Web3. So I'm excited for that.
Well, that is very cool. And it will help to kind of diverse resources and opportunities. Well, very, very nice. And, okay, so, well, that is sad that the market isn't well right now. Do you think it's kind of the highest point of this, if I can call it a crisis, or it's kind of only growing and the boom will be soon?
I think the boom will be soon. I think right now we're just in a tiny bit of a dip, but I think as summer comes, things are going to get better. I really do.
Yeah, I wish for that, and we all do. So yeah, guys, keep your jobs, and yeah, just be calm. The right opportunity will come up soon. Okay, perfect. So we talked about the offers. The sixth part of our conversation is about kind of stability, which we see that it is not something that Web3 has now. So remote jobs, B2B contracts, insurance, and all of the things that are related to it. So we know that Web3 is not the place where you supposed to look for it. Maybe banking industries or some government industries, they have that more. But for Web3, we already for 6 or even 7 years in this industry. Is it still a luxury, or companies are starting to implement more flexibility, more insurance? I don't know, some regular contracts, or we're still on the stage of like kind of this flexibility with B2B contracts?
Yeah, so definitely flexibility on B2B contracts or 1099 in the US, which does not offer benefits. The problem is, at least in the US, I'm not super familiar with the European or APAC region, but in the US, it costs 1.5 times their annual salary to employ them on a W-2 with benefits. So I don't have my phone on me. I don't know how to do math, but $100,000 times 1.5, it's a big chunk of change,
Yeah.
So, that's the biggest challenge, is the cost to the company to employ them with benefits is just so much higher. And a lot of the times they simply can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because there's a lot of startups that already they're already working for 6 to 7 years in the industry, and they still didn't meet the how to say it, the revenue, so the investment that was spent to launch the company, they still didn't meet this point, so they cannot kind of afford it. So yeah, guys, if you want to join the industry, please make sure that you know all of the things that are written with like a small kind of letters. Okay. So the last question we have for now is well, we already spoke about it before, but the resources for hunting for the job. So we already talked about LinkedIn, and you mentioned Twitter. Actually, maybe we can speak about it for a minute. Like how candidates can use it? Is it mandatory? Kind of mandatory for now or not? Like, how do you feel about Twitter at the moment?
So a lot of people aren't, not a lot, but there's companies that aren't posting jobs on LinkedIn or job boards. They're posting about them on Twitter. So you want to be following these companies, following these leaders, but also companies post jobs on their Twitter page. I think it's really easy to get lost in the shuffle on Twitter. So I would go on Twitter, identify the company, go on LinkedIn, find the hiring manager, and reach out to them there.
Got it. And besides following and looking for jobs there, do you think it will be helpful to how to say it, to develop their Twitter? So do they have to make a content plan and post and do something about it?
Yep, you've got to have proof of life. You need to make sure that, you're active, you're engaged, you're positioning yourself as an expert in the field, right? People want people that are involved in the ecosystem. So I think it's critical. I could do a better job.
Yeah, I agree. And is it something that you notice when you hire for these positions, or it's not for now? It is not kind of like a red flag for you. It's just something that okay.
Yeah, it's not a red flag. It's just something that's like, oh, I wish you were more active here so we could get a feel of your personality, but it's not required. But I would highly encourage it.
Yeah, agree. Actually, just one insight that I have. So for some like editorial direction in Web3, they started to kind of consider it as a red flag if someone is not developing their Twitter, because I think it is related to the position itself for journalists or editors. But yeah, guys, start developing your Twitters. Okay, so I think that was the last question from the list. I hope everyone enjoyed, and me personally, Emily, thank you very much for all the answers and insights. I think as a recruiter, I learned a lot today.
Well, it was great to see you. Thanks for having me on.
And we have just a kind of last part of Q&A session. Let's see if someone asked anything in the chat. Maybe we can choose one or two questions and then just wrap up.
I'm gonna go in a couple minutes, so a couple questions would be great.
Okay, how many minutes do we have? Like
I'm 5 minutes
3?
late to the next meeting, so that's
Okay.
okay. That's okay.
Okay.
A couple quick questions. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. So there is one question from Mike, I see. So Emily, thank you for taking time to join us, especially while traveling. If you were in my shoes, a direct sales closer with over 3 million in closed revenue and deep on-chain research background, where would you focus right now to break into top Web3 go-to-market team? Who's hiring with urgency in your view? um Separates good. Okay, so the question is the first one, I think.
Yeah, so where to go looking for these jobs? And my favorite answer is LinkedIn, especially setting up LinkedIn alerts. Sales can be such a high turnover that companies are really like, fast moving. So if you see a sales job posted on LinkedIn, I think you'd be lucky to see it open for more than 5 days. So I would definitely be applying there. But as a salesperson, right, think about it. If you're trying to make a sale, you don't just call the prospect, you email the prospect, right? You find the prospect on LinkedIn. Go a step further, find them on Twitter, right? Really show them what it's like to work with you as a salesperson. Give them a taste of how you treat your pipeline.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I hope Emily answered your question, Mike. Thank you for the question. And I see two more, but guys, we have limited time, so I will just ask the previous one. So Sam is asking, what about the copywriters slash like content writers market? So we talked about the boom and the not stable situation there. So what do you think about these direction, like copywriting, content writers? Is it the same?
No. So content is so important right now when it comes to these founders and anybody really. So I think content is one of the hottest jobs because people need you to be ghostwriting. So I would reach out to these, leaders on LinkedIn, on Telegram, and write a post for them and say, hey, I thought this may be a good post for you. And give them a little sample.
Well, that is not an answer. That is the whole strategy for copywriters. Thank you very much, Emily, for that. So, thank you everyone for being here with us today. Thank you, Emily, for your impact. So the video recording will be on YouTube next week. For those who didn't have a chance to join us. And guys, if you will have any other questions, send them all. We will figure out how to send you questions as soon as answers as soon as possible. So Emily, thank you again. I was super happy to see you, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.
Always great to be here. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.